Hello, fellow humans. This is a lot of hope. Welcome to this episode of The Living Journey, where we escape and explore a life in an alternate universe. Before we start, please make sure you are in a safe space. Can and will do nothing but relax while you are listening. Thank you for your support. Now, let's decompress. Water a happy life. It's been a while since you got home. It will be dreadful. Arriving at the train station, you gasp. The memory of your childhood returns to you. You remember the benches, sitting on them feeling so different. For one, your legs were not long enough to touch the ground when you sat on them. Seeing all the people from your train leave the station as you start to take roots on the benches. That makes you feel silly, yet happy. As your mind wanders away, you suddenly feel conscious, worrying about people seeing you sitting alone, waiting. Embrace your natural urge. Allow your imagination to blossom. A voice suddenly appeared in your ears. Feeling shocked, you looked around, trying to find the person who is speaking to you. But the station had cleared out. Barely a soul to be found. Feeling confused, consciously ignoring the voice that you just heard, you quickly pick up your luggage and your traveling drawing kit, start to walk down to your father's car. It's strange to walk down the stairs and recall your high school years. It was the time to apply for colleges. Almost all of your friends decided that their parents' career path would be the one they follow. Your parents are what people call the overachievers, a lawyer who had argued cases before the Supreme Court, and a neurosurgeon who had written 3 editions of a textbook. They married and gave birth to the future liberal art watercolor painter who serves coffee to make rent. Like the world needs another hedge fund manager, you're bitterly telling yourself when one of your schoolmates telling you their plans. And when others had been asking about you, their default question had been asking if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer. You want to be neither. You just want to capture your imagination, transform all your feelings into your creation. But you lied. Maybe a lawyer, you replied. Thinking of the memories feels so painful. The trip down the memory lane is almost like being an adventure, and the trap that guards the treasure had been triggered. A stone with the size of a bus is rolling down and chasing you. You run down the stairs. By the time you reach your father's car, you had sweat rolling down your forehead. Your father asked about you being breathless. You disguised your adventure of jumping across a broken bridge. Thomas flared away from the burning lava and chopping down the venomous snakehead as running too fast. The ride back home is quiet, but the sunset in front of you is truly beautiful. You can see your hands reaching out and dabble the watercolor to spread the glow just a bit further into your drawing. Losing yourself in the beautiful light, the nature is so enjoyable. For a second, you are lost in the joy that you're gonna recreate later. Sometimes you wish your life can just be the moments like your drawings. Somehow, your happiness is always fragmented, and any bits of the unexpected events can knock you off your chairs. Not sure if it was because of your low self-esteem or just not fitting in, or maybe just the lack of education on how to enjoy being happy. Maybe all of the above, but your happiness is always short and restricted. Just as your hand floats and the brush between your fingers is about to paint and finish the corner in your eyes, your father asks you to put down your hands, which is blocking the view of the passenger seat mirror, waiting to open your mouth and apologize. Yet, the second you want to speak, your throat closes up and cannot make a sound. By the time you arrive home, you greeted your parents, took a shower, and had dinner. Then you started to paint the view of the sunset that you memorized in the car. You are certainly talented and imaginative. The sun looks like a runaway bride, leaving the altar under the gaze of all expectations, stepping on the flower petals, paintbrush stroke on the paper, leaving only a long veil flying in the air as the sun is running away, returning into the blankness in the corner of the canvas. You felt relieved. You wish that you can grow up in a family where nobody expects anything but for you to grow up and work on things that you truly desire, with no set of expectations, but just your passion and drive. Staring into the finished painting, putting down the brush gently, the peace and happiness satisfy your heart. You can learn to make this feeling last. The voice from the train station returned. In your own room, looking left and right to confirm that you are all by yourself in this space, you took a deep breath, working hard to make sure that you are not hallucinating. Hello? Who is there? Nobody answered. Your bedroom is completely silent. As you start to panic, your alarm goes off, reminding you that it's about time to sleep, for tomorrow is your family reunion. Sliding to the bed, you hold your comforter tightly, trying not to be frightened by the voice again. Soon, you fall into your sleep. Your fingers loosen the grip and travel so freely into the wonderland. Wearing your pajama, you briskly wander through your new painting, played around in the blankness. When you find yourself standing on the edge of the blankness, any further, it is all a void. But you know you can walk across the void and enter the secret lair of the wonderland. You carefully stepped out, and you feel the water rotates as you raise your foot towards the opposite side of the drawing. Feeling like an astronaut, you land your feet on the paper. The touch of the paper tickles you like a naughty child welcoming you home. In the wonderland, you try to look for the voice that spoke to you, passing through some of your past drawings and sketches. Like a time traveler, flipping through pages and pages of happy moments, you still couldn't find the voice. Might it be the painting that I just did after my hike to the waterfall? You thought. The walk towards the waterfall was beautiful. The stones along the creek are slippery, polished by the splashes of water over the centuries. They are covered by layers of moss. The further you walk, the more clear you can hear the waterfall roar, getting closer to it as the water soaking up your pajama. You can barely open your eyes. You did your best, shouting out loudly from your lung, questioning if the waterfall was the source of the voice that quietly spoke to you next to your ears. The waterfall paused its roar and laughed, reminding you the volume that it speaks in. Feeling silly and embarrassed, the waterfall directs you to the painting of the bird bath, where the hummingbird might have more of a quiet speaking voice. After waving goodbye, You jumped into the creek, swimming in the cool spring water. Catching the speed of the current, you quickly arrived at the bird bath, swimming towards the edge of the bowl, quickly jumping out of the water, land on the ground, resume your usual size. The hummingbird hasn't arrived yet. You took your chance to relax your overworked muscles. Feeling relaxed and pleasurable, you enjoy laying down and absorbing the sunlight into your skin. As soon as your pajama had dried up, the hummingbird announces its arrival with the fast speaking tone, greeting you, and joyfully dances around your fingertips. Realizing that this tiny creature has too high of a pitch comparing to the voice, you asked for more helps. The voice sounds soothing. You gave a clue. As soon as the hummingbird noted that it was always comforted by the sound of the leaves brushing against each other, you asked if the bird can give you a ride to visit some of the trees that you had painted before. The hummingbird agreed, flapping its wings as it used the wings to flip through all your paintings to locate the trees. Some trees speak slowly. Some trees speaks in riddles. And some trees speak so harmoniously, almost like a song. I'm sorry to disturb you, but I don't think you're the voice that spoke to me. I'm looking for the voice that spoke with such urgency and determination. The trees are working overtime to help you figuring out the source of the voice. But because the trees were painted on different paper at different times, the trees constantly have communication issues. Sometimes they talk over each other. Then they apologize to each other over and over again. Sometimes after they brainstorm, a symphonic melody was composed. Listening to the comforting sound of the trees arguing, you are again transported out of all the paintings. As you drift and float, you're overlooking at all your works, desperately trying to find the answer. Who was it? What was the purpose of his speaking? As you dive in and out of your paintings, like a clownfish giggling in the sea anemone, you suddenly feel the happiness as you brush your skin against the paper. With your body of work, you feel so very proud. You suddenly realize that you have been having so much fun for the past hours. Fragments of happiness combines all together. Enjoying the conversation with your friend Waterfall, traveling with the hummingbird, and listening to the trees having unconstrained conversations, everything felt so perfect. And they are the moments that you had lived. All the moments combined together to create the most beautiful life where you can vacate and accept your true self. Who cares about the life that everybody wants you to live? You are living in your moments. And the moments that you enjoy are the truth of your imperfect but satisfying life. The moments are short, but you can always recall the happiness to enjoy your love and peace over and over again. Every moment of your life through your imagination becomes so precious and worthy. You remember your life through the fragments of all the happiness, and you capture the moments with your imaginations, your hands, and your paintbrush. With your skills, you can instantly process the moment, brushing each moment smoothly and decisively. However life happens, it's about your way of viewing the moments. Waking up refreshed, thinking of your trip in the Wonderland, you felt so very good. Standing up as you try to organize your watercolor painting kit before starting your day. Looking at all the brushes, you realize the soothing, determinative voice was your heart and soul translated by the brush. Living each moment was never gonna be easy, but with you, finding the beauty with your own eyes, processing the moments of your life with the remarkable skill of conceptualization, the path to be happy longer than just seconds finally registered. You can look at life with a filter of kindness, and the world is suddenly filled with more light and warmth. Still, Phil hesitated to join the family reunion. You no longer feel dreadful. You realized, by ignoring the expectation of others, by focusing on your happiness and passion, you had put on a thick armor that gives you protection from all judgmental eyes. Walking to the kitchen where your parents are, your steps felt much lighter, even as you are wearing a newly equipped shield. Looking into your parents' face, you realize their cold eyes were not because of your underachievement or your lack of career prospect. It was just them being them. Later on, when some relative arrived, asking about your work, not only that you didn't lie, telling them about your work at the coffee shop, but also when you tasted their judgment sipping through their silence. For the first time in your life, you proudly announce your passion to paint watercolor. Just a couple of the short conversations of you proudly and enthusiastically showing off your watercolor work on your phone, like they are your newborn babies. All the gossipy relatives starts to leave you alone, because in their dictionary, the only compliment they can give out politely was the word nice and cool. Yet, you don't care about their opinions. You cherish all your memories and all the moments that you have lived. Stomping around the house all by yourself as you wander from one room to another. Maybe also for the first time in your life, you don't have the urge to join the world where you don't belong. You are happy that you can appreciate the day and just do the people watching because you know it. You start to listen to the brush in your hands, applying the watercolor onto the paper, creating a world of your own to comfortably existing in it. That's all for this episode of The Living Journey. I truly am grateful for your time. Feel free to leave your reviews. Please like, follow, or subscribe. Until next time, lots of hope. Signing out.